The sun sinks behind the Hollywood hills, staining the sky gold and red, the color of both glory and decay. The Eagles are at their peak, fame, wealth, and exhaustion wrapped in one glittering illusion called California. To the world, they have everything. Inside, they feel trapped in their own paradise. Hotel California begins as a whisper, a haunting guitar figure rising through the haze of smoke and sleepless nights. No one expects that this song will become their reflection, their confession. It sounds like freedom, but bleeds with the ache of captivity. Henley writes about a place where dreams never end. But neither does the loneliness. Felder's 12-string riff feels like a mirage shimmering over asphalt. Frey calls it a journey into the dark heart of success. The paradox is perfect. A song about being trapped makes them eternal. A melody born in excess becomes a hymn of awakening. Stay until the end. You'll see why Hotel California still feels like a mirror held up to the human soul. It started in a rented house in Beverly Hills. Don Felder sat with a battered 12-string guitar, fingers searching for something he couldn't name. Outside, the world was loud. Inside, he found a melody that sounded like solitude, part desert wind, part cathedral echo. He recorded the riff on a simple tape, layered with haunting harmonies. When Don Henley heard it, he didn't smile. He closed his eyes. He said quietly, "That's the sound of our story." What followed wasn't easy. The band was unraveling under pressure, drugs, fame, exhaustion. But within that chaos, Hotel California became a vessel. Henley's lyrics weren't written, they were exercised. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. It wasn't a metaphor, it was a diary. Recording sessions stretched for nights. Felder and Joe Walsh sculpted the dual guitar finale like sculptors chiseling at truth. Each note carried both longing and release, a flight and a fall. When they finally played it back, no one spoke. It wasn't just a song anymore. It was an echo of their disillusionment, perfectly preserved in sound. Art had become survival. They weren't chasing fame. They were documenting what fame had done to them. By the mid-70s, the Eagles had everything they once dreamed of. Platinum records, endless tours, a mansion in every state. And yet, they felt lost. California, once a promise of freedom, had become a maze of mirrors. Cocaine, greed, egos, headlines. They were prisoners of the dream they sold, so they rebelled the only way true artists can, by telling the truth. Hotel California was their rebellion disguised as beauty. A 6.5-minute epic with no chorus, mysterious lyrics, and a solo that defied radio rules. Executives doubted it. Too weird, they said. Too long. No one will get it. Henley didn't argue. He simply said, "Let's see." In every line, there was resistance. Mirrors on the ceiling, pink champagne on ice, opulence rotting from within. It wasn't an attack. It was a confession. The world of rock in the 70s worshipped indulgence. The Eagles turned indulgence into introspection. While others screamed rebellion, they whispered it. And it hit deeper. The true defiance wasn't in volume. It was in honesty. When the band played Hotel California, it felt like breaking a mirror and watching themselves bleed, yet finally breathe. They weren't writing for approval. They were writing to survive the myth of perfection. The first time Hotel California played on radio, DJs hesitated. 6 minutes, Eerie lyrics, no clear meaning. But once it began, no one wanted to stop it. Listeners called in, "Play it again!" The song spread like a slow wildfire across America's highways and living rooms. Its intro became an instant invitation, its solo a pilgrimage. People didn't just hear it, they felt it, a strange mix of nostalgia, melancholy, and awe. It was as if someone had finally put the California dream into music and revealed its cost. At concerts, the crowd stood still, listening. The final guitar duet between Felder and Walsh turned every arena into a cathedral. It wasn't a performance anymore. It was revelation. Hotel California climbed charts, won Grammys, and defined an era. But its impact couldn't be measured in awards. It became a language of its own, used in movies, road trips, midnight conversations. Decades later, people still remember where they were the first time they heard it. That's how you know a song has stopped being sound and started being memory. Because truth, no matter how haunting, always finds its way. Time passed, the dream faded, but the echo remained. The band fractured under the same pressure the song had warned about. Henley and Frey went separate ways. Felder left in silence. Yet the song, that strange, haunted masterpiece, refused to die. Hotel California aged like a myth. It became a compass for every musician chasing authenticity in a world addicted to fame. You can find its ghost everywhere, from cover bands in smoky bars to orchestral renditions in grand halls. Even today, its guitar solo is studied, worshipped, feared. Each generation rediscovers it, on vinyl, in films, on streaming playlists, and finds their own reflection inside its lines. Some hear the warning. Some hear the beauty. All feel the loneliness that lingers after the applause fades. And maybe that's its secret. The Eagles wrote about their own prison, and in doing so, freed everyone else from pretending paradise is perfect. When that final note fades, you realize it's not a song about California. It's about all of us, chasing something golden, only to find it was the light of our own illusions. The man is gone, the moment is gone, but the echo endures, because beauty never asks for time. It just keeps breathing. Nearly 50 years later, the guitars still echo through time. Tender, haunting, eternal. Maybe you've heard Hotel California 100 times, but tonight, it feels different. Because now you know it wasn't just a song, it was a mirror. We've all had our own California dreams, the moments we thought would save us, only to find they trapped us. The lights that looked like heaven until they burned too bright. The Eagles didn't write about fame. They wrote about the human heart, forever wandering between desire and peace. So as the final solo fades and the night grows quiet, ask yourself, what's your Hotel California? The place you can't quite leave because part of you still believes? If stories like this remind you why music still matters, stay with us. Because legends never fade. They just wait, softly, to be remembered again.